I feel conflicted. That's right everyone, Dragon Ball Super Episode 4 is here, and okay, it's Beerus Light for this episode. Aim for the Dragon Balls, the Pilaf gang's great strategy. It's not that great. Where we last left off, we found out that Beerus, pretty much as we've known since the series began, is not exactly the most benevolent of gods out there. In fact, he's one ill-tempered, flaky kitty cat right there, because he's really destructive, more than he should be. And he really is annoying to boot. The Kais once again prove that their greatest asset in the fight against evil and terror is to stand around on their own home planet far from the action and gawp up at the sky in absolute fear. And a slight retraction from the last review in saying that the Elder Kai was just scared for Beerus for no reason. Actually, he is. It turns out that deep down in the lore, that it was Beerus himself that actually sealed Elder Kai away in the Z-Sword, but you kind of really have to know your stuff about Dragon Ball to know that. It's deep in some kind of interview somewhere. To the average viewer who's watching Super, just fresh from the start, you're not gonna know that. So I just thought I'd be honest and say, yep, I made a boo-boo. Bulma's birthday party has now moved to a cruise ship rather than Capsule Corp, where basically 80% of the Earth's activity occurs. And she's really unhappy that two of her Saiyan confidants aren't around to not tell her that she's almost 40. Oh yeah, and Beerus is off to King Kai's planet to find out whether Goku is the Super Saiyan god of his dreams. So remember that packed lunch that Whis lovingly put together for Beerus for the long trip to King Kai's planet? Well, Beerus don't like it, just because he thinks the flavour is boring, despite the fact he's only tasted it once before in maybe 2 centuries. We don't care, he's just tired of it. Holding my tongue. But to be fair, if he's saying that he's tired of it, well, he's basically saying what the audience is thinking at this point. We're kinda tired of him. With 10 minutes to go until he arrives at King Kai's planet, the king himself is trying to figure out what he can do to stall for time and not have the kitty come there. Hey, don't worry King Kai, the Dragon Ball series has got your back. It's very bad when it comes to the passage of time. I think you're pretty much good for the rest of the episode there, it's gonna take a while. When Goku asks if he is okay, King Kai has to then just think of everything that he can to try and get Goku to go away, and then remembers the fact that isn't he supposed to go to his friend Bulma's birthday party or something? But Goku's not exactly bothered about going to a party, he doesn't do social occasions that much. King Kai, I've got the answer for you right there. Why don't you say, oh, Bulma usually serves up loads of food, isn't it like a free buffet or something? You should get out there before there's nothing left. Goku would be gone before you finish that sentence. Sorted. But no, King Kai decides to go another option and basically say that, oh, I'm insane, does a little dance for some reason. Okay, that's random, yeah, I'll give him that. But that doesn't make Goku go away, that just makes Goku all the more curious. Bad move. You don't know Goku at all, do you? We then get a longer than necessary establishing shot of the Princess Bulma cruise ship, and he thinks that she actually bought a cruise ship rather than just rent one out and change the name. Oh my god, she's so rich. And the party itself is now in full swing, and Chaozu looks like he's having a great time, floating Marin on a chair. Oh, okay, that expression, that's not really making me feel comfortable. Actually, now that I think about it, doesn't it remind you from Stan from South Park or something like that? Looks really similar, you know, with bubble hat and stuff. And that guy in the back, I don't want him to be serving food. Yeah, that's weird. Videl and Mr. Satan are tending to Majin Buu's food obsession, and Videl is extra thick today. I mean, not Videl herself, but her line art for some reason. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not exactly averse to it. It kinda looks cool. In fact, the majority of the close-up shots in this episode are done with thicker line art for some reason, and it just doesn't blend well with the medium shots and the long shots. It looks kind of weird, but I like the stylistic change there. I've not seen it before, but I think this is just like an episode thing. But beside that, Bulma is getting more and more antsy about the fact that Goku and Vegeta aren't here, and Gohan and Krillin are tending to her by giving her orange juice. Yes, juice, orange juice. Now the one thing that I'd noticed throughout this episode and I really didn't like is the fact that whoever wrote this episode tended to write the female characters really badly. Like, they're either whining about something or obsessed about money. What does that tell you? I don't like it. There's Chi-Chi being completely enamored by the fact that Bulma has a lot of money and she likes to show it off. 18 is even more one-dimensional when it comes to winning prize money. Hey, at least she doesn't want to go for the first prize and go for the second prize. Modesty. And then, of course, there's Bulma, who does nothing but whinge on her birthday. She's got a cruise ship to go around. I think anyone that had a birthday party and had their own cruise ship to run around in, they'd be having the time of their life. Please, just give us a little bit more nuance when it comes to these things. All of this just doesn't sit well with me. However, I will say, to their credit, Toei's visual effects and post-production for the water, oh my god, it's sublime. Meanwhile, Goten and Trunks are being very curious and naughty children by trying to figure out what the secret prize is for the bingo tournament. It's totally Dragon Balls, isn't it? But we mustn't think about that right now. We've got some kitchen hijinks to think about. So we then get to the place where all the prizes are being kept. So, you know, little trinkets like cars and aeroplanes. I think you can hold them in a ship. Whoa, there's actually a castle in there. Oh, what? How would you be able to get that in there? The logistics and the weighting and the foundation? What am I thinking? Hoi poi capsules. Sorry, disregard me. That disbelief there caught me off guard for a moment. But yeah, it turns out that the first prize for the bingo tournament is a wish on the Dragon Balls. But there's a problem there. What's stopping the winner from actually just using the other 2 wishes? Because in this world, the Dragon Ball can give you 3 wishes. What about the other 2? Either way, the Dragon Balls are being kept in a chamber, which is protected by a shield that not even Saiyans can penetrate. Unless you know where the power source is, and you just yank out the cord. Okay, I'm not even mad. That's actually really funny, and a classic Toriyama subversion there. Oh yeah, and Trunks apparently knows the code to the safe. How? But that doesn't matter right now. We have to actually look at the pretty blue light! The blue light is glorious, and what is there we do not know, nor we be able to see, but we don't care, because the blue light is so bright. Blue light. Best prize ever. We then cut away to these guys. It's the Pilaf gang, in kid form. Oh boy. These guys are currently at a small island where they are looking for treasure, which Pilaf bought a map of for about 50 zenny, which is basically 46 cents. Yeah, quality. Mai thinks that it's so quality that she scrunches it up. Yeah, good girl. Pilaf doesn't care what the others think and demands that they dig even faster, and Mai does so in a way which is very uncomfortable, and it did make me laugh in a way, and you can hear her mumbling and stuff. Makes Pilaf look really stupid. But there we go with the thicker lines again. I mean, it's cool and all, but it's getting rather inconsistent. Either use the thicker lines or don't. Back on the ship, and now that the Dragon Balls are out of containment, they are now visible on apparently Pilaf's Dragon Radar, which he still has. Which, okay. I don't remember when he got this exactly, but still, it's the perfect plot device for him and his crew to be mixed up with the main characters. But yeah, Mai's character writing now goes to a very new low. So remember what I was talking about, the writing for female characters in this episode? It continues on with Mai. She is quick to cry. Yeah. In the face of adversity, Mai, who's meant to be the hardiest of every single character out there, and especially in the Pilaf gang, just buckles and cries after just rowing for a while. Yeah, I know that she, Shu, and Pilaf are hungry, but still, she's meant to be tougher than that. But there's no time to worry about that now because the shark's about to eat them. And somehow they're able to jump and actually grip onto a smooth metal surface. There's no holes there. How does that work? Luckily, Trunks is right there to provide them a ladder rope. Just willy-nilly right there. I mean, like, without any kind of the queries of who they are. Goten's there as well. Man, these kids are really trusting. And they're easily fooled because Pilaf somehow manages to get away with saying that, oh, they're filming a drama without any cameras around. But luckily, the presence of food, as typical in Dragon Ball, manages to solve any kind of plot problems or trying to get out of any sticky situations. It's the currency for Dragon Ball main characters. Main characters, you say, because Pilaf remembers that they are minor characters, so they do not deserve any food at all. And then without any prompting, Goten and Trunks just bring some food on platters, stuff like that. I mean, Goten, you're too good for this world. You are the cinnamonist of cinnamon buns. Please never change. Back at Capsule Corp, Vegeta's really proud of himself because he's mastered the art of 150 times gravity training. But just as he's thinking that he's good for the day, he's then getting a call from Bulma to say that he better get his butt to the cruise ship or else. I'm not gonna let people see that I'm really weak against my wife. Yeah? Totally not weak. Dang it. Then it's back to King Kai's planet. We're bouncing all over the place, aren't we? Where Goku's training by firing Kamehamehas around the curvature of the planet and then trying to block them. Which, I must admit, is actually a really good idea. That's a really good way to train. Okay, not bad, Goku, not bad. King Kai quite clearly has gotten to that point where he doesn't really care what he says anymore. And almost quite loudly, he mentions Beerus' name in earshot of Goku, who then finds out about Beerus. And then King Kai goes, "Oh, how did you know about Beerus? Ah, don't, King Kai." You really lost it. At this point, I reckon that King Kai's just given up on everything and decides to spill the beans with Goku and tells him exactly what Beerus is and what his game is all about. He tells us all that Beerus is on the same level as Shin, but wait, does that mean he's even more powerful than Frieza? Oh, Frieza is such the barometer for all the divine people! No, I'm just kidding. What they're talking about in terms of level is in terms of rank. That is said. But in terms of power, no, Beerus is way up there, far beyond the levels of strength that Goku can comprehend. Why are you talking about him being really strong? Goku's only going to stay. He's going to build a home there and worship you every day until Beerus arrives. And it's typical of Goku to compare some kind of god of destruction to basically not picking up poop. Alright, okay, I admit that's kind of funny. But in Goku's mind, just because he's really strong and he blows up planets, even though it's his job, it must mean that he's a bad guy, so he's even more resolved to try and stop him. But just then, Beerus is about to approach, and King Kai pushes Goku into his, whatever's left of his house, just as the moment when Beerus arrives on the planet with Whis in tow. And this time he means business, because the line art is extremely thick in this one. And then the episode ends. All in all, this episode was actually rather more entertaining than the last one. It had some comedy, and it mostly focused on the Pilaf gang and them ingratiating themselves into the main cast of characters for this Super series. And it kind of works. Kinda. It's not really explained why they are kids in Dragon Ball Super. I mean, maybe they're telling you to watch the movies, but then if you watch the movies, then why are you watching Super? It's a little bit of a mini paradox there. It would have been nice for a line, at least, for saying Shu or Mai saying, "If you hadn't made that stupid wish turning us into children and making us young, then we wouldn't be in this mess." They could have credit cards. Either way, it's more characters for Goten and Trunks to talk to. I mean, they need them. The animation was quite simple, but well utilised at times, and I really did like the thicker line art. It was a very nice change of pace for the most part, but I didn't like the fact that it was just scattered about the episode rather randomly. I'd have quite liked it that if they were just going to do it, then they would do it throughout the entire episode instead of just suddenly doing it about a third of the way in and then just stopping for a little bit and then suddenly coming back again. Yeah, just a little bit more consistency. Oh well, judging from the preview, I think the animation will be able to actually stretch its legs and actually do some good stuff, because this will be the first proper fight of the series. Super Saiyan 3 Goku versus Beerus on King Kai's planet? Oh, I remember that from Battle of Gods, and it looked wonderful. And judging from the preview, I think it's going to be just as good. So, yeah, look forward to that. Episode 5. It's going to be great, right? Anyway. That was my review for Dragon Ball Super Episode 4. Tune in next time for my review of Dragon Ball Super Episode 5. Until then, be sure to like and subscribe. Catch you later!